Hello everyone, I am Bradley Sward and this is my solution to part 1 of day 5 of the Advent of Code 2023 competition. The problem is called If You Give a Seed a Fertilizer. I am solving the problem in Python for me as usual. So let's look at the problem and let's see how we can solve at least part 1, and I'll work on part 2 when I have some time. I'm a little behind. Life has hit me a little bit here, so I'm a little behind on doing the problems, but having fun doing them just like all of you, enjoying the week, enjoying the competition. So basically, there's a lot of mappings going on here. So we have a seed, for those, we have a bunch of seeds, and we're basically trying to map them as we go from seed to soil, and soil to fertilizer, and fertilizer to water, and work our way all the way down to a location. It's basically mapping, mapping, mapping. It's just a consistent number of mappings over and over and over again until you reach the end. And basically, for every seed, you're going to reach a certain number, and we're supposed to figure out of the four, at least in this example data set, for each of the, or for the four seeds that I see, what is the end value all the way down here for the seed that gives me the minimum value. And that's kind of what they're talking about here. And again, if you're watching this video, most likely you're already pretty aware of what's happening with all of this, so I don't need to, kind of go crazy. But you can see here, I can show my answer here in a minute or two, but you can see that there's a lot of mapping, a lot of rules, a lot of this and a lot of that. So here we go. So basically, I am saying let's open the file, and normally you read things line by line by line, but because the data set is so different, this is mine here, right? This is just humongously huge with just giant, giant numbers in here. That basically I'm just saying let's just read everything, let's just read everything a little differently. So I pull in all the files. I get the seeds because the seed is in line 1, or lines in technically line 0 if you want to think of it, or if you're starting from the start there. Then the seeds are easy, and then everything else has to be generated a little differently. And so it turns out that these lines here don't really mean anything. At least it doesn't seem like they mean anything to us. So we can kind of skip over them. But everything else, we just have to take these values and then set and then generate ranges from them. And of course, if you just generate them as a list of basically a list of numbers, you can see here we're just going to either run out of memory or it's just going to become just too cumbersome too quickly. So basically what I say here for when I'm generating all the mappings for a specific part-to-part relationship, I'm basically saying let's take a transform and let's figure out here basically the second number in the list is basically the start of the range, and then we're going to basically go this number of numbers. So basically the end of the range is this number plus this number, and then and every number in there maps to this number as a starting number plus the offset, and that's what you see here. That's basically, here's my starting number, but then it ends at this number plus the offset number minus 1, just to account for the first number counting as a number. And then we append that, and we don't need to put the range in we don't have to do anything more with the value after this, but and you'll see down below that we'll work with the offset down here. So we don't have, all I'm doing is basically setting that up. And let me undo this here. Let me just, so you can see this on a smaller data set, so I can put a breakpoint here so you can kind of see how my work comes out here. Over here, if I look at my maps, you can see here that these are the series of values in here. So from 98 to 99, that maps starting at 50, and 50 to 97, that starts mapping to 52. And that's just, so basically that's just this one right here. So basically from 50 to 97 starts mapping from 52, and so forth and so on. So we have the different mappings for each of the lines is a different mapping. So at least I have a data structure that I can work with now. And then the second part is to work with it and to basically now go down here and say, if I'm looking for the minimum value, let's start from the largest possible number I can start from and work my way backwards. And so for every seed there's in that data set here, there's 4 seeds. Let's work our way through here and see what we get. And so for every seed and for every mapping and then for every element, basically try to find the seed value that's in the range, and you might find one that isn't in the range, so we just don't do anything with the seed value while we do that. And then but again, we're changing the value when we need to, and then breaking out because we found the value we're looking for. But otherwise, we cycle through and we don't change them. We just go to the next mapping and just keep on going. And so we just go from map to map to map to map to map, end result, and then check to see if it's smaller than the previous ones that we found before. And if so, go nuts on it. And if not, keep it or not. So at the end of the day, we get the value of 35 for the value for the data set here. You can see that the example is 35, and you can see my number is just giantly large. But now I can show you that. Let me go back to my code real quick here and show you that for the original data set. Oops, I don't know what am I doing here? There we go. That data set, and then I run it for that guy. And now let me just put that in there. And there's the answer. That matches up with the number that you see down here below. That matches up with my program. So part 2 is going to be a little more complicated. I'm just going to have a little time to think it out. Things are running a little behind for me. But this is a fun competition. And I'm just enjoying the ride here. And I hope to have a solution video soon for that. You can always comment below or just enjoy the video as you see fit. I hope you're enjoying with those of you who are watching my solutions, and if you know anything better, let me know. Hope to see you guys in future videos. Thank you again for watching. Take care, and I will see you then.